All right, you guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. It's been 18 months, 18 long months since I published a video on this YouTube channel. I want to say, welcome back. If you've, I hope things have been going well. I hope you guys are kicking goals in life. A lot of life can occur in 18 months, and a lot of life has occurred for me too. Good and bad. Happy and sad, up and down. It is what it is. That's life, right? So I wouldn't say I haven't been creating any content, because I have. I've been putting my content creation efforts into a second channel that I began at the start of 2023. And it was my goal with that channel to share my journey and my experiences and opinions, so on and so forth, within the niche of addiction, within the category of addiction. And addiction has run in my family, and it has most certainly been a theme of my life for many, many years. And varying addictions, some good, some bad. But, as I get older, I realize that the way that my personality works, and it always has, I'm just becoming more aware of it now, is that I'm either 110% in or 110% out. If I like it, if I really like it, I'm going to want to do it every day. And if I don't like it, well, I'm completely uninterested. So I began a second YouTube channel beginning of 2023, and at this point I've created, upwards of 320 videos on that channel. So it's been a passion project, and it's been highly emotional at times, but I will say that creating content around sobriety, around addiction, has actually helped me. It's given me a sounding board to talk about certain things, reflect on certain things, talk through certain things, and at this point I'm really, really happy to report that I'm over 10 weeks completely clean and sober from all alcohol and drugs. I am living in Townsville on the North Queensland coast of Australia. I am in my children's lives. They are 5 and 7. They're growing up way too fast. I was able to purchase a property last year, which was a real achievement, a huge achievement. It wasn't without sacrifice and hard work. But anything that's worth having is going to include a bit of that. So we got that done, and that was here in Townsville. And since then, my children and their mother have been living in it, and that was a big one for me. I'm really proud of that, and they are happy and safe. And now I have arrived in Townsville about 3 months ago, and it was at that point that I decided, right, it's time. I'm not going to say to grow up, I'm not going to say to mature, but it was time to get real, you could say, and remove anything that was going to be holding me back, anything that was going to cause me to live my life suboptimally, because I turned 35 at the end of this year, and I want to be confident, I want to be capable, I want to be in the best shape of my life by the time I turn 35, and that doesn't just mean physically, that means emotionally, spiritually, financially, and all the rest. So I sit here before you today content with how things are going. And I suppose that is probably the reason why I feel motivated again to create a video for this channel. I mean, I've got 157,000 subscribers. It's absolutely insane. Back in 2018, I created my first ever reaction video. I'd never watched one myself. I'd never ever watched one. And I hadn't played rugby for 3 years, but I decided to get back into it. And what that led me to do was start creating content around rugby. And I don't know why, I don't know how it happened or why this idea came into my head, but I thought, you know what? I've enjoyed seeing Jared Hayne from Australia in 2015 go over to the 49ers, undrafted free agent, and make a go of it. And I remember watching him, and I remember, being in awe and really enjoying it and thinking, he was going to be the first of many Australians or New Zealanders for that matter to go over there and make a go of it. Now, we haven't had any other running backs since, unfortunately. So I would say, even at this point, Jared Hayne is definitely my favourite convert from rugby, probably the most successful, apart from Jordan Mailata. I mean, that is a story, to write home about. I was making reaction videos to him going through the International Pathway program. 4 or 5 years later, he is considered certainly top 5, if not top 3, left tackles in the league. Incredible. Incredible what genetics and hard work combined can do. But either way, I digress. April 2018, put out my first reaction video, and at that point I had grinded away for like 6 or 7 years to go from 0 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers. I just hit 10,000 subscribers, and I thought that was it. I'd made it. I was never going to get to 100,000, but at least I got to 10,000. At least I got to that 5-figure mark. I was super proud, and at that point, I was just happy, doing my thing. I was working away. Just had my first child at that point. And things were going well. And you know what? I thought, I'm getting back into rugby. Why don't I look up on YouTube the best side steps that the NFL has to offer? Because I always thought of myself as a decent rugby player, was probably never going to go professional, never had that drive to go professional, to be honest, looking back. But I had a bit of footwork, and I really enjoyed footwork, and I loved seeing Jared Hayne use his footwork in the game of NFL. So made it my goal to create a reaction video to the latest and greatest side steps in the NFL. And that led to an explosion of viewership on my channel. And we went from something like 12 or 13,000 subscribers to 15,000 to 20,000 to 30,000. And within a couple of weeks of releasing that first reaction video, I think I was at 50,000 subscribers. Now, I saw my opportunity. No one else was doing it. I had a title that was mine. And even to this day, I don't know if there are any other people who have used that title. Rugby Player Reacts to NFL. Rugby Player Reacts to American football. What a time to be alive it was. It was incredible. What was it? Sitting back now, a few years on, was it similar? Because I've never been able to replicate those views in those early days. But I tried. I tried my best. And you guys will know that. I gave it my all. I wanted to replicate those views. I wanted to get to 1 million subscribers one day. I made over 1,500 reaction videos. But unfortunately, the peak was high. It was exciting. And, that's the way things work in the world of content creation. Whether you're a YouTuber, it was just reaction videos, right? I really didn't have any talent behind it. But either way, what an exciting ride it was. We came down the other side, we sort of tapered off, and in the end, about 2 years ago now, I decided I'm not getting out from this what I need. The NFL started copywriting my content, which meant that I didn't earn a dime from, I'm going to say probably, 60, 70% of my reaction videos overall, and certainly not in the final couple of years. I was getting next to no money, and I was putting in a hell of a lot of effort. And in the end, I think it was a mixture of getting burnt out. It was a mixture of just losing interest, to be quite honest, and losing my motivation, and just calling it quits. And so that's what happened. But it was a 4-year ride from mid 2018 all the way up to 100,000 subscribers, all the way through to 157,000 subscribers. And I think I've been sitting at that mark for about 2 years. So the question remains, is it possible to revive a dead YouTube channel? Is my YouTube channel dead? I don't know. I feel like the content that I created prior to going down the reaction route is content that is going to be relevant for years to come. And that's the type of content I always wanted to create. And it was around gynecomastia, surgery, an issue that a lot of men deal with and will continue to deal with till the end of time. And rugby content, rugby-based tutorials. And I even threw in a few fitness videos here and there, which I was extremely interested in, and I sort of lost my way throughout the reaction-based content. But I will say, as of this point, being nearly 11 weeks clean and sober, I've been back in the gym for 11 weeks. I am getting in good shape. I'm sticking to a decent diet. Everything's sort of coming together for me at the moment. And what I want to do is to try and revive this YouTube channel. I want to start creating content on this YouTube channel. I will never experience the peaks that I experienced back in 2018. I'll never feel that again. But those are feelings that I remember, and that I remember fondly, and that I can talk about. Not everyone gets the privilege and the opportunity to go through that, but I did, and you guys were here for that. So this video, I don't really know if you're going to get too much out of it. Just know that I'm here. I'm still here. I still have the desire to create content on this YouTube channel. I don't know exactly what that content's going to be, so I'm not going to promise anything. I'm not going to assume anything. I'm just going to say that I'm glad to be back. I'm going to say that I really do wish you all the best, and I hope that the last 18 months have been fruitful. I've been through some ups and downs, but there's one thing I'll never do, and that's give up. I will never give up. So we're back, better than ever. I turned 35 years of age at the end of this year. Can I still create a reaction video titled Rugby Player Reacts? Well, I can't really. I can't, because I'm not playing rugby at the moment. And I don't know if I ever will. The older I get, the more I look at that game. It's a young man's game. The NFL is a young man's sport. So is rugby. So is mixed martial arts. So is a lot of contact-based sports. They're young man's sports, young men and women sports. The body is not designed to hold up to that, and I will say that the brain is not designed to hold up to that. So a lot of the hits that I see in rugby and football at the moment, not that I watch a lot of it, to be honest. I sort of pulled back a lot from sport in general, although I do still enjoy it, but my priorities have been elsewhere. And it's an exciting sport. Contact sports are exciting. Rugby's exciting. The NFL is most certainly exciting. Any American football is exciting. I still enjoy watching it, but you've got to be realistic, and you've got to watch it and see some of these collisions and not feel some kind of concern, then you know it's yes. I don't know where I'm at with that. I still enjoy sport, but sometimes it's hard for me to get behind a certain sport that glorifies collisions and potentially life-altering collisions. It's crazy shit, but that's what makes it exciting. So I'm still here, I'm still kicking. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support over the years. Where this channel will go, nobody knows, but I tell you what, there's one thing I do have in my possession, and I'll always have, and that is my 100,000 subscriber YouTube plaque, which is something I never ever thought I'd achieve. And through you guys' support and a little bit of hustle, we got there. Thank you, and good night.